Most people don't quit MyFitnessPal because it's bad. They quit because it stops telling them what to do next. Hi, I'm Janine with 𝘵𝗵𝗀𝗀. If you're still using MyFitnessPal for calorie tracking, my question for you is, if MyFitnessPal technically works, why do so many people still feel stuck, frustrated, or constantly second-guessing their calories? Because switching food tracking apps, it can feel intimidating, especially if you've spent months or even years building custom foods, recipes, and habits inside MyFitnessPal. Trust me, I've been there. I used MyFitnessPal for years. I had hundreds of custom foods and recipes saved. And for a long time, the idea of switching, it felt like starting over from scratch. The good news is, moving to MacroFactor doesn't require relearning everything you already know about tracking. And it definitely doesn't mean starting from zero. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to switch from MyFitnessPal to MacroFactor in a clear, step-by-step, practical way based on what we've learned here at 𝘵𝗪𝗀 after testing nearly 24 nutrition tracking apps. By the end of the video, you'll understand why people switch, how to set up MacroFactor the right way from day one, how to rebuild only what actually matters from MyFitnessPal, and what to focus on during your first 2 weeks so that the app can do its job accurately. Now, most people, myself included, they don't leave MyFitnessPal because it doesn't work. They leave because they want better feedback, they want fewer guesses, they want less manual adjustment over time. With MyFitnessPal, you're responsible for choosing your calorie target, setting your macros so that they add up correctly, and then deciding when things aren't working anymore. If weight loss stalls, you have to guess whether it's water weight or real fat loss slowing down. If weight gain is too fast or too slow, then you have to decide how much to adjust. And over time, that constant decision making, it gets exhausting. MacroFactor takes a completely different approach. Instead of relying on rigid formulas, it uses your logged food intake, your body weight trends, and mathematical models of energy balance to automatically update your calorie targets based on what's actually happening. Not what should be happening on paper, but what your body is actually doing. That's huge if your weight fluctuates a lot day to day, if you struggle to know when to change calories or macros, or if you're just tired of constantly recalculating targets yourself. This is exactly why MacroFactor is our #1 rated macro tracking app, and why we describe it as having a nutrition coach in your pocket. Another big difference is how the app handles imperfect tracking. MyFitnessPal often feels like an all or nothing system. I mean, if you miss a meal, then suddenly the day feels like it's ruined. Eating out without exact numbers, and then you have anxiety kick in. MacroFactor is designed to work with imperfect but consistent data. You don't need to be flawless, you just need to be honest and reasonably consistent. As someone who's used nutrition tracking apps for a really long time, I can tell you that this is a much more human approach. Expecting people to be perfect with their intake, it isn't just unrealistic, it's often what drives all or nothing thinking, that yo-yo dieting, the unnecessary weight fluctuations. MacroFactor removes a lot of that pressure. Usability is also another reason people switch. There's no ads interrupting your logging, the interface is so much cleaner, there's less emphasis on streaks and gamification. For a lot of users, that makes tracking feel more neutral, so there's no sense of being bad or failing if you miss a meal or even an entire day. Tracking becomes faster, it's more seamless, and it's less emotionally charged. And over the long term, MacroFactor tends to appeal to people who just want sustainability over speed. Data-driven adjustments, fewer emotional decisions around food. If that sounds like you, the switch makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about how to actually get started the right way. Before you log a single bite of food, it's important to set up your MacroFactor account properly. This part matters more than most people realize. One of my biggest critiques of MyFitnessPal is that its default assumptions often lead to calorie and macro targets that are way too low for active or muscular people. That can result in unsustainably fast weight loss, increased muscle loss, poor long-term adherence, and MacroFactor avoids this with a more thoughtful setup process. It gives you ongoing adjustments based on real data, plus built-in education explaining why losing weight too fast is usually a problem. The first thing you'll do is choose your goal. So you're going to be asked whether you want to maintain weight, pursue gradual weight loss, or pursue gradual weight gain. That word gradual, that's important, okay? Don't try to lose weight too quickly. It's not sustainable or healthy. Gradual weight loss is more likely to be body fat rather than muscle mass. Gradual weight gain is more likely to be muscle rather than excess body fat. Choose the option that reflects what you want over the next several months, not just the next week. Conservative goals, they work better with MacroFactor. Extreme targets don't improve results, and they often reduce accuracy. Next, you're going to select a coaching style. MacroFactor offers collaborative and coached models. If you're coming from MyFitnessPal and you're used to setting your own targets, collaborative mode usually feels a little bit more comfortable at first. And if you were relying on MyFitnessPal's recommendations and you were feeling frustrated with your lack of progress, then coached mode might be a relief because it lets the app handle the adjustments automatically. There's no right or wrong choice here. You can always switch it later, so don't worry. After that, you're gonna set your macro preferences. You can customize protein targets, fat minimums, and how carbs and fats are balanced. Unlike MyFitnessPal, MacroFactor prioritizes protein adequacy and energy balance rather than just that rigid macro percentage. If you're unsure, you can accept the default protein recommendations and avoid extreme low-fat, low-carb setups. Calories are king when it comes to weight change, but protein is a close second for body composition. That's why we generally recommend getting close to 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. Once protein is set, it doesn't really matter whether the rest of your calories come from carbs or fat, especially for fat loss. Pick the mix that leaves you feeling the most satisfied and sane. Then you're gonna choose your weight tracking preferences. Daily weigh-ins are recommended, but MacroFactor uses trends, not single weigh-ins. So normal fluctuations, they're gonna be expected, they're also accounted for. This is huge for mindset. I've seen people panic over one high weigh-in and then they decide their effort isn't working, only to overeat and then just make things worse. On the flip side, unexpectedly low weigh-ins can lead people to believe that they've earned extra food. MacroFactor smooths all this out by focusing on weekly trends instead of daily noise. Once you've completed these steps, you're ready to start logging. If you want to try it for yourself, you can get your first 2 weeks for free using the code 𝘲𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀. Now let's talk about the biggest mental barrier for most people, custom foods and recipes. You do not need to recreate everything from MyFitnessPal. The key is starting with your high-frequency foods, so focus on the foods you eat multiple times per week. Your go-to meals, your snacks, your meal prep lunches, the staple recipes that you rely on regularly. Things like oatmeal bowls, protein shakes, family favorite dinners, those matter. MacroFactor's recipe builder lets you add ingredients, you can set your total cooked weight of servings, and then log by portion size. I recommend you use raw weights when possible and keep the ingredients list simple. Just avoid all those over-engineered recipes. Accuracy improves with consistency, not complexity, okay? If a meal changes every time you eat it occasionally or it's already in the database, then skip creating a custom page. Let go of the guilt around all that old data. A smaller, cleaner database, it's easier to maintain, and MacroFactor learns from current data, not years-old entries. And when it comes to logging foods, MacroFactor emphasizes verified entries and fewer duplicates. This is something I really like about MacroFactor. If a barcode scan doesn't return a result, try searching manually or enter the nutrition label yourself. Yes, it might feel slower at first, but it pays in accuracy. Only create custom foods you'll actually reuse and double check those serving sizes and avoid those one-off entries. For restaurants, use official nutrition data when available, of course, and choose comparable generic items when it's not. Or you can use the AI food logger. Reasonable estimates, those are enough. The first 14 days of MacroFactor are about data collection, not optimization. Log food consistently, weigh in regularly, and don't obsess over daily calorie changes or short-term weight fluctuations. Most importantly, don't adjust calories manually yet. Let the app establish a baseline. After 2 weeks, you're gonna see clearer targets, better trends, and more confidence in the system. Switching from MyFitnessPal to MacroFactor, it isn't about tracking harder, it's about tracking smarter. You set up your account thoughtfully, you rebuild only what matters, and you stay consistent during the first 2 weeks, most people find MacroFactor easier to maintain and easier to trust long term. The transition might feel a little unfamiliar at first, but once the system has enough data, it removes a lot of the guesswork that keeps people stuck. And that's when progress finally starts to feel sustainable. If you want a full guide on how to get started using MacroFactor, I have linked the video for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.